Hey, what's going on everybody? It is Shimsa here. Welcome back to League of Legends today. First of all, sorry there's going to be no sound for like the first minute or so of this video. I was listening to a YouTube video while I was loading into the game, so there's going to be no in-game audio for just a moment. Before we start this video, I want to quickly shout out a video made by MinishCap1, a really good Singe player. I'm sure all of you know him already. He made a big video talking about the state of Singe, and talking with another high Illaoi player about Singe and all of his flaws, and it basically just goes over the entire reason why Singe is a bad champion at the moment. So for anyone who's having any doubts about that, I'm going to link that video in the description. I'm about a week late to the party, but I've only just gotten around to watching it. I've been very busy the last week. But, yeah, on to the game. Jimso, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you playing Illaoi? Well, Singe is garbage at the moment. And I think a huge part of the reason why Singe is garbage is that the matchups in top lane for him are just horrendous. I refuse to play Singe top. I will not play Singe top until he is buffed or changed or something good happens to him. That is not happening. Oh, sorry. Yep, all good. I've heard just a little bit of the YouTube video there, sorry. But yeah, so I'm like, alright, fuck it, I'm not playing Singe top anymore. But still, when I play ranked, I queue up for mid and queue up for top. By the way, I'm still playing Singe. I just play Singe mid. I find it more fun, I find it easy to survive. So you'll still be seeing Singe, just Singe mid. But of course, I needed a new top lane pick. And I was thinking about what I would play, and I remembered towards the end, before I left for my little Season 6 break, we don't talk about that, but yeah, before I left for my Season 6 break, I played quite a bit of Illaoi. I played maybe like 10 games of Illaoi, and I'm like, she was very fun. Oh, by the way, I'm against a Teemo top. That's going to be interesting. I'll explain what I'm doing in laning phase. Basically, I'm just going to try and freeze the wave in front of my tower and just survive. I'll explain all of that about Illaoi in just a moment. But yeah, I'm like, oh, I really liked Illaoi, so I thought, alright, I'll give her a try. Have some fun. Tried looking at pro games, but normally my way of learning a champion is watch a pros player for like 3 days straight and just copy them. But there's so little footage of pros playing Illaoi because no one plays her. So I just sort of had to learn myself, and I learnt the hard way. I probably played 30, probably more games of Illaoi. For the first 20 or so, I fed horrendously. I'm talking about 0-8 in laning phase, 0-10 in laning phase. But what I learnt was, I had a game where I was 0-10. I ended that game probably like 6-12. I got 6 kills, because as long as you complete a few damage items, Illaoi is insane if you play her right in team fights. So that's when I came up with my new strategy here. Play ridiculously fucking safe. Let them push into you in the laning phase. Illaoi is not an early game champion. By the way, I will be doing a Q max. I understand a lot of Illaoi is like an E max. I don't like it. It's more of an aggressive lane. Yeah, it's more of an aggressive thing to do in lane. I've tried it. I don't like it. I prefer the Q-Max. So yeah, as you can see right here, I'm against a Teemo. I started a Corrupting Potion. My runes, by the way, are Armor Marks, Armor Quints, AD Reds. Shut up, eBay. AD Reds. That's part of the reason why I've been really busy lately, by the way. eBay's been going off like crazy. Yeah, 80 reds and MR per level steals. Very defensive mastery page. I could very, very easily go for fucking 80 quints, as is standard on Illaoi. But I decided not to. I want that extra armor, and it helps me a lot. So here, right now, I set up... You notice at the beginning of the game, I set up here, Teemo tries to stop my recall, so I just get him as a spirit. Make him spawn the tentacle aids, that's fine. But as you can see here, I've got a little nest of tentacles set up around here. I let them push into me, into those tentacles, and I use those tentacles to farm, harass, and just stay alive. I always take teleport, so if I need to go back, it's very easy to come back, as you can see I'm doing here. I'm going to be rushing a Hex String against this Teemo. You might think that's not amazing against a Teemo, but it saves me quite a bit, and it's going to get me a lot of kills in this lane. But the idea of Illaoi early game is you just want to get to the team fights. You're not a lane bully. Illaoi, when she came out, I guess you could say she was a lane bully. When her E was a bit different, it lasted 60 seconds. It didn't spawn tentacles as often. But nowadays, she is more just like, get those items, get that Death Dance, get that Black Cleaver, get whatever defensive items you need, go into team fights, shit on team fights super hard. But she is such a difficult champion to learn how to play. I've seen so many people say, oh, Illaoi, easy to learn, hard to master. Fuck off! Difficult as fuck to learn. This champ, it took me so long. You're going to see another game of Illaoi that I'll probably release later this week. Of a Riven who complains about my E being just like a click to win button. And I don't rage in chat, but I just rage to my friend Barry who's playing him like, are you fucking serious, you stupid bitch? You know how long it took me to learn how to play this champion without feeding in lane against fucking a Riven. she is ridiculously hard, and I wish you the best of luck in learning how to play her. Learning Proxy Singed back in Season 4 was easier than learning Illaoi. And even now, I'm still shit on Illaoi. But I've been grinding the shit out of games. I'm going to take her into ranked as my top lane pick for when I get filled into top. And, yeah, I'm having to have success with her. So, yeah, very safe early laning phase is what I like to do. It's all about wave control. It reminds me so much of my Season 4 days playing Rise, but I'll do the same thing. Yep, that's fine. Let them push into me all day, farm up for the team fights. Exactly the same concept, and I think that's why I really like her. It's very, very familiar to me. My old favorite champion, old Rise. Fuck new Rise. But, as you can see here, I'm pushing in now because the lane wasn't pushing in my favor. It was pushing against Teemo, and when that happens, you just need a shove. You need a shove, and you need to get the fuck out of there, or you need to harass people down if you see the jungler around the map. So here, this is a dangerous thing to do. You don't really want to be diving with Illaoi all that much, but you can make it work if the enemy's being stupid. So, I went back, as you can see, I got that non-magic man to help me survive the poke against Teemo, whenever I need so I can push him in, but Illaoi is very mana hungry. You have to keep that in mind. A big part about learning Illaoi is learning how to manage her mana. It's huge. I personally don't think Illaoi is a very good champion. I think she's in much the same boat as Singed, where sort of everything just counters her. I don't think she's as bad as Singed, though. I think she's a little bit better. She can manage things a little bit more. But she's still not a very good champion. I play her because I find her fun. I really enjoy playing Illaoi. But yeah, so I'm going to go for an early Hex Shrinker, going back, playing very defensive. Now, if you're up against an 80 opponent and they're melee and you don't really need to rush defense, you can just sort of play safe, let them push in. You can just go for... You want to rush a Death Dance. Now, there's two real schools of thought on Illaoi, either rush a Death Dance or rush a Black Cleaver. I like the Death Dance rush because the healing you will get from using your tentacles on creep waves is huge. You will heal up a lot. So if you have that item for the mid game, you can, you know, do some jungle camps, go clear out a creep wave, and all your health's back, and head to a team fight. So I really like that. I really like the survivability of it. It's just very, very good to have. But of course, you can go Black Cleaver yourself first if you like. It's up to you. I prefer Death Dance for the sustain. It's a safer build. But boots, I will be going Ninja Tubby this game. Not going Merc Treads, don't really need it. It's nice for Veigar stun, but Aatrox and Zarya, I want to have something to do with them. And besides, I'm already building a Hex Shrinker, so I'm going to have some MR. And I'm not hyper concerned about the CC. I'm really not. Look, yeah, obviously Veigar stun sucks, but I reckon I can play around it. It's only one piece of CC, I can deal with it. So now here you can see, I know the wave's pushing in Teemo's favor here. I've had enough experience with waves, but to know that. But I just want to hold it. I don't want to just shove in really quick right here. I just got to hold it for a little bit because it's only slightly pushing in his favor. And just sort of see what I can do when he gets back. Now, I've got to be very, very careful of an Aatrox gank. That'll fuck me up. Teemo, unfortunately, now, you could say I was very lucky here, and I would say I was. But, okay, here. Notice how I ulted there. The reason why I ulted was not for the tentacles. The reason why I ulted here was for the 2% cooldown on my W. I knew there that if I could just chase Teemo down with my W, constantly do damage to him, I would kill him. The thing you need to know about your ultimate. First of all, couple things. One, Illaoi gets more, as long as her ultimate's up, Illaoi is more powerful the more people are fighting her. Okay? The more people that jump on Illaoi, when she has her ult up, and when she uses her ult, the more powerful she'll become, because the more tentacles she will spawn. Two, the spirit that you pull out of the enemy with your E, which you'll be maxing second, by the way, because the damage that it echoes back, if you get a pick on an enemy in the mid-game, you'll take away, like, 3/4 of their health. It's insane. But that spirit, that little E ghost thing that just sits there, that counts as a champion, okay? So, you will heal off of it when you hit it with your Q, or when you hit it, one of the tentacles hit it, and it will also count as a champion for your ultimate. So, it will spawn an extra tentacle. So if someone goes all in on you and your E's up, make sure you use your E first, get a spirit out of them, then ult. You'll get 2 tentacles and you'll be able to echo damage. Because if you hit both the enemy and their spirit with a tentacle, they will take damage from both. So they will take a lot of fucking damage. Now of course if the enemy moves out of range, of course, they will immediately become a vessel. Very nice. Lucky that it does that and it doesn't just drop it off them. Here I'm looking, oh, can I teleport in? Nah, fuck it. But the other amazing thing about your ultimate that you need to always keep in mind is that it will reduce your W's cooldown to 2 seconds. Doesn't matter what rank your W's at, it'll reduce it to 2 seconds. So, if you've got somebody you need to chase down, if you know that they'll run away when they start fighting, you can use your ult, do the damage on them. Your ult at level 1 only does like 150 damage and a little bit of scaling. Not much, but it's still damage. It goes up to like 250 at max rank. But you shouldn't really expect your ultimate itself to do any more than like 300 damage normally. But the point is, what's going to happen here? Okay, I'm getting blinded by Teemo. Teemo, obviously, here, again. See, I did it to get my Q down to 2 seconds. See if I can go in, see what I can do. Hex Drinker saves Mask there. Teemo, I know I've got a tentacle behind him, so I flash, W him, take him down. Very, very simple. If I didn't ult there, I wouldn't have had that tentacle, and my W would have been on a shorter cooldown, so if he did decide to fight me, I wouldn't have been able to kill him if I didn't do that. So, another big thing to always remember about your W. You don't necessarily, if you're fighting 1v1, need to use those tentacles. You can do it just for the reduced cooldown on the W. It will help you get kills, as you saw there. Well, that was really the tentacle, but as you saw before, against the Teemo. I'm Illaoi. I'm winning lane against the Teemo. That shouldn't be happening. Sure, he's sort of a shitty Teemo. I'm getting lots of pulls on him, but still, it's not Illaoi, a very shitty early game champion. That shouldn't be happening. Now, another thing you'll notice I did is when I went back, I bought Ninja Tabi. So I got Hex Drinker and Ninja Tabi. Already very, very, very defensive laning phase. Teemo was building longswords, so I figured the Ninja Tabi would help against that, and obviously the Hex Drinker helps against his mushrooms and against his poison. And, I mean, Ninja Tabi, not a bad buy at all. Aatrox, lots of auto attacks. Zarya, obviously auto attacks. Very, very useful. We're going to take a sip of water 1 sec. Rest in peace, E-Double. Oh my god, I didn't find out that E-Double died until like 2 weeks ago. That's fucking shameful from my part. But yeah, we'll dedicate this video to E-Double, whose music will be playing in the background right now. Died of an infection, unfortunately. Great rapper. Just released a new album too. God damn it. Anyways, back to the game. Got another pull on Teemo there. Not a very good Teemo, and he just took damage as well from the tentacle. So yeah, the way Illaoi's E works now is it'll make them a vessel for 12 seconds, and also it will spawn a tentacle every couple of seconds. It used to be like it would spawn a tentacle every 10 seconds and make them a vessel for like, fuck it, yeah, look at that. And as you can see, because I'm maxing it second, the damage that it goes back is insane. Now here I wanted to go for Teemo there, but unfortunately I take tower shots. Here I try and ult. I figure if that W had landed just a moment sooner, I may have survived there, because I would have healed for a lot of health from, I think it was 3 tentacles that would have hit him. So I would have gotten 15% of my missing health back. And yeah, he would have died, most likely. Teemo might have come back in, I might have gotten blinded, but I reckon I could have killed him. It's unfortunate, but hey, what are you going to do? But yeah, always remember that. Illaoi is more powerful the more people fighting her, and her ultimate will just destroy team fights if you can position properly. Yi, for some reason, decides to go in. Does manage to get the kill, but whatever. I guess it was sort of worth it because he gave the team gold from the sort of the shutdown, but yeah. Now, going for a lot of damage early on here. I'm figuring, hey, I'm killing this Teemo. Let's just build damage. Now, one thing to note about Illaoi is if you ever get behind on Illaoi, okay? If you're ever like, oh shit, I'm 0-3 in laning phase, fuck, what do? Build damage. Just build damage. Don't build tank, just build damage, okay? Building tank is when you're ahead. Building tank is when you say, okay, I've got my damage already. Now let's get a little bit of tank to make myself a little bit more valuable. But if you're like 0-5, then the tank isn't going to help you. You're going to die anyway. Either way, just get damage. And then if you could just land one good ult in team fights, get a whole bunch of tentacles, you'll probably die, but you will do so much fucking damage, it's unreal. Now here I'm trying to get this tower, but unfortunately Teemo's being a little rat. Fortunately I'm landing a lot of good Qs on him. A lot of practice on Illaoi to get even half decent at landing those Qs. They're hard to land as well. But that's why they do so much fucking damage. They do like 100% of your AD plus some extra damage on top. It's crazy. You just have to land them is the problem. But yeah, that tower is very low, so I just grab the tower, nice and simple. Now, one thing to note about Illaoi's W, it is an auto attack reset, but it won't do additional damage against towers. Sorry. It does damage based on your opponent's maximum HP, and that, as a result, that, and because of the fact that its cooldown will be reduced to 2 seconds, no matter what rank it's at when you use your ultimate, that's why you max it last. This was very confusing for me when I started playing Illaoi again, because I played her back in like early Season 6, I think, and she was... You max W first then. You max W first, and you built like Iceborne Gauntlet or Trinity Force first. Now the build's changed. You don't really do that anymore. I don't know exactly what changed. I'm assuming her W switched around a little bit, but... Either way, you max her W last now. Here I overstay a bit. Vega shows up. We both have boots too, but he unfortunately flashes, so I'm just going to die. I try and ult, maybe like see if I can do something, but yeah. Overstayed there, but hey, at least I got Veigar's flash. So going for that Death Dance first. I got a lot of damage now. But, I have to be able to use that damage. I have to be able to not die immediately in team fight. But I've got a decent amount of resistances for the mid game. Got Ninja Tabi, got a Hex Drinker. So I can survive. Now, this game I'm going to do something a little different. Normally I'll just go Death Dance into Black Cleaver. And then if I'm doing really well, go into Sterax. If I'm not doing really well, grab, you know, a tank item before that. But this game I'm actually going to go a Spirit Visage right after my Death Dance. And the reason because of that is Veigar. He's got a couple kills, and while he's not, like, he doesn't have the damage to take out the whole team. But if I'm ulting in the middle of his team, or he engages, like, I'm going to be the one he targets with his ult. And that will fuck me up still, even though I have no OP. That will do a lot of damage. So I'm just like, okay, I don't want that to happen, because that will, like, immediately melt me. And because he's got a bunch of kills, he'll do a lot of damage with it as well. So I'm like, I'm going to go for a Spirit Visage first. Well, Spirit Visage right after Death Dance. Spirit Visage, insanely good item on Illaoi. If you're getting an MR item, go Spirit Visage. Because it gives you that healing that you need. Remember, here, again, one moment, here. I do that purely for the reduced cooldown on the W. Purely. I didn't have to flash there. And Teemo blinded me, so I missed. But purely for the reduced cooldown on the W. It lets me keep up with him. Constantly gap close. Illaoi doesn't really have much of a gap closer in her W. But when she ults, and that's down to 2 seconds, you're dead. She will fucking stay on you. The problem is, once it wears off, you're sort of just left having to run after people. That's the big weakness of Illaoi. She has a lot of big weaknesses. Her damage is obscene. It is ridiculous, but she's very hard to play. Her laning phase is garbage. She needs items. She's easily kited. But, I was going to say she was much like Singe, but at least she has an upside. Hey, things go well, you will fucking destroy the whole team. Singe is just like, oh, things go well. Well, you better hope your team is doing well as well. Oh, whatever. Here I'm just grabbing the tower. I'm doing this because I can see Aatrox in the mid lane. I can see Zarya and Rakan bot. I know that Veigar is dead, and I know that Teemo went back. Easy. I can get that tower. I use my W to reset my auto attacks. A thing to note about that, which I forgot to mention before, is that her W will not do extra damage to towers. It would just count as the damage of an auto attack, but it will reset your auto attack. So you have to sort of balance whether or not it's worth it, because you're going to be spending 30 mana every time to do it. But if you need to rush down a tower, that is a way you can. So, now, top lane has just been swept. I've won lane against a Teemo because he honestly isn't that good, and I've been practicing Illaoi so fucking much, it's unreal. I'm going to see what I can do. Ult's level 2, my E's almost maxed out. I can grab someone, do a lot of damage to them. I think at max rank, it scales on your AD as well, but on max rank, generally you can expect to do like 75 to 80% of the damage done to the Spirit will be done back to the enemy champion. So I think if you grab their big tank, so you grab a big tanky Cho'Gath, and your whole team just focuses it, you will shred the tank, and now suddenly their tanky Cho'Gath has lost 3,000 HP, and your team goes to Baron. Well, now he has to go back, and yeah, you can see how it's very, very useful. But everything on Illaoi is so telegraphed. Her E is so slow, the hitbox is so wonky. Gonna try and go for Teemo here, trying to get a grab on him. Unfortunately, I just donked into the minions, so it doesn't really work. Yeah, her E is so slow, her tentacles are so slow, her E's hitbox is wonky as fuck. Sometimes it's thinner than it looks. I'm like, oh, why didn't that hit? Sometimes it's thicker than it looks. It's very confusing. She's very easy to kite, she's very easy to play around. She's insanely good in low elo because people can't play around her. I think Illaoi is a champion that scales negatively with elo. The higher elo you go, the worse she is. Much like Singe, except not as bad in my opinion. Though still pretty bad. Here I'm gonna complete my TP here because I know I've got a team coming to back me up. I ult and look at the healing and look at the damage. Look at the damage. Okay, this is just with a Death Dance and a Hex Drinker. That much damage. Illaoi can become insane once she just has even one damage item. What? You have Death Dance, fucking Black Cleaver, and the Sterax. If the enemy team does not know, if you just catch the enemy team, okay, watch this. Pull Aatrox. Look at the damage to him. Look at that. Oh, you can't see, but I did a lot of damage. But if you can land a 5-man ult or a 6-man ult with a Spirit pulled out, the enemy team is just dead. Dead. As long as your team is somewhere nearby. I've been engaged on like 4v1 Put a spirit out, got 5 tentacles, chunked an entire team, or 4 people to half health. Still died, but chunked them to half health. Illaoi can do that. But you want to try and make sure that you're with your team. She's a team fighting champion, 100% through and through, which is why I like her. I love team fighting. She's also very, very good if you're getting dived on. She's great against dive comps, because, oh, 3 people dive in, ult, motherfucker, boom. Don't have to worry about getting into the middle of the enemy team if the enemy team comes to you. You can't really peel for your AD carry, but you can peel for them by killing anybody that tries to get to them. Death is the best CC. So, in that way, she's not really a supporty tank. She's sort of a selfish tank, but she will do so much damage. She's obscene. She's obscene with the damage, but she takes a lot of skill to be able to get that damage out. Especially in a team fight where you don't have time to set up a tentacle nest. Now, I made the call to go for Baron right after pushing down the mid lane tower. Very good call. I'm normally not good on Baron calls, but I was good on that one. Now here, Rakan actually dies here. And the reason why Rakan dies from me pulling that spirit is because I managed to hit him with a single tentacle smash that hit both him and the spirit. So he took that little bit of extra damage. So that spirit, killing that spirit took away probably 80% of his health, and that one tentacle smash took away the other 20%. So that killed him. I didn't expect that to kill him. I just wanted to chunk him out. But there you go. Echo goes in, kills Zarya as well. Things are looking good. We got that Baron out. We can just push in. Ult is ready. Illaoi is pretty much fucking useless without her ultimate. She's much like Sinjin that way. You don't have your ultimate up, you don't want a team fight. Because there's not really much you can do. The best thing you can do is sort of sit at the wings and pull a spirit. If you don't have your ultimate up as Illaoi, what you should do is pull a spirit out of the enemy champion. Here, gonna ult again, gonna start fighting again. And unfortunately, the enemy team moves out a bit too... They move away. So I'm not really able to get as much damage down. I'm still able to get quite a bit, but then I get a bit greedy here. And only pop Aatrox's passive and I end up dying. So a bit stupid, but we're so far ahead. We can afford to have a little bit of fun. Now, what was I saying? Shit. Oh, yeah. In a team fight, if you don't have your ultimate up with Illaoi, what I would recommend doing is you pull a spirit out of the enemy. At this point, it's probably mid-game. You've probably got 5 points in your E. Pull a spirit out from the enemy and just sit at range hitting that spirit. You'll still be doing damage, and remember, when that spirit dies, it'll slow down the enemy for like 2 seconds or something. It decays, but it slows them down, and it'll be helping out your team. You're doing some damage, but you really don't want to dive into a team fight without your ult. Fortunately, its cooldown is pretty low, and also you'll be building Black Cleaver on Illaoi generally, and Spirit Visage, and things like that. So you'll be getting cooldown reduction naturally in a build. So your ult not being up won't be a problem a lot of the time. And also, like... It can be difficult. You might be responding to a split push. Okay, we just won the game here. GG. You might be responding to a split push, and, you know... Oh, God. There's so much to talk about. But you know what? I will make a video talking about top lane Illaoi and what I think about it very, very soon. Thank you all for watching this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Steve for supporting me on Patreon. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Jimso. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Sorry, so much to talk about, so little time. But I'll catch you very, very soon, guys. Take care.